What's going on, guys? Alright, we're gonna try this again. We are gonna try this again. I had my thing live, and then my computer crashed. So hopefully this time, we're good. Hopefully this time we're live. Alright, we're gonna continue to try to grind up with this deck. It's not the best deck. There's a lot of things in the meta. We're gonna continue to try it. We might even watch the latest Viper video, see if... my god, it's... Nope, we're not watching it.
Alex Jones says the unsayable.
Oh my god. Not what we're trying to watch.
Yo, you guys, what up, Viper here, and today we kind of finally have found a counter to Frost.
All good, Drake. Cool. Harry Plopper movie. Is it a movie about when Harry Plopper takes poops? While we're doing this, we're gonna watch
that
this.
Seems to actually prevail, not be some cheese that every now and then can beat Jotun, something that is very, very consistently just beating pretty much all Jotun matchups. So I want to talk about that team to you guys, and this is what I've been playing recently by far the most, so let's just get right into it. Now you guys can see we are just looking at pretty much a standard Toxic Colossus Verdant Berserker team. Now the verdant part of this, right? Usually in the last patch with Toxic being so strong, we would play like a Toxic Colossus Cardulox opening, and then we would maybe add Nal or Kelleon for verdant, and we just would be, I don't know, adding damage sources, mystic healing sources, things like that. The same thing you can see here. Now, why is it different? Why do we change now? What are the other ideas? So fundamentally, you guys have seen in a lot of videos in the past that I was using this Nature Cardulox to start the game out with Toxic and then swap to a Verdant Ranger a lot already. Now, I was usually overloading that with like Kelleon and just a bunch of other things. thing that is different here is we are just skipping a Kaleon. Why are we skipping a Kaleon? It's a verdant unit that's super strong, because we change now what are the other ideas. So now,
right, guys, I'm gonna rewatch this part.
get right into it. Now you guys can see we are just looking at pretty much a standard Toxic Colossus Verdant Berserker team. Now the verdant part of this, right? Usually in the last patch with Toxic being so strong, we would play like a Toxic Colossus Cardulox opening, and then we would maybe add Nal or Kaleon for verdant, and we just would be, I don't know, adding damage sources, mystic healing sources, things like that. The same thing you can see here. Now, why is this different? Why do we change now? What are the other ideas? So fundamentally, you guys have seen in a lot of videos in the past that I was using this nature Cardulox to start the game out with Toxic and then swap to a verdant ranger a lot already. Now, I was usually overloading that with Arcaleon and just a bunch of other things. The thing that is different here is we are just skipping Arcaleon. Why are we skipping Arcaleon? It's a verdant unit that's super strong, because we just want to play this Lynx. Now, the current meta, if you watched any of the last videos talking about this, is basically super high tank stats, super high damage mitigation, plus a shield, plus healing. Now, the thing about the Lynx is, which is, let's call it a feature at the moment in the game, Lynx's ability slashes the target 3 times for 150 times Omega Power pure damage per slash. So it's 450 pure damage. That is really good for the Spellbox with Colossus high resistance here. Now, the thing that we might as well call a feature at the moment in the game is that the pure damage is not only on the ability but also on the auto attacks of this Lynx. So this 35 cost Lynx is pretty squishy, right? It's a 1400 HP, low resistance unit.
Wasn't expecting to win that one. We're gonna hardcore focus on his video here in a second. You know, one of these. Don't have to worry about losing this one. Alright, let's watch this video, because I'm actually really curious to learn this. Is my oh. There we go. It should be better now. Right? Connection should be better. Don't know what was going on with my internet, guys. Sorry about that. The internet was shitting the bed there. I want to learn what this new deck is, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn. Alright, guys. I apologize. We were having such internet struggles in the early part of it.
What the links is, which is
Why am I wearing these? I'm not in my normal setup right now, so...
let's call it a feature at the moment in the game. Lynx's ability slashes the target 3 times for 150 times Omega Power pure damage per slash. So it's 450 pure damage. That is really, really good versus Bulwarks, versus Colossus high resistance units. Now, the thing that we might as well call a feature at the moment in the game is that the pure damage is not only on the ability, but also on the auto attacks of this Lynx. So this 35 cost Lynx it's pretty squishy, right? It's a 1400 HP, low resistance unit, but it does a crazy, crazy damage because the attack damage is just going to be pure damage as well. Which translated pretty much
Stop
means
shaking my leg.
usually
I'm not.
units at the
I
moment
just put my
have
arm
more
down
than
on the
50%
table.
damage mitigation, or something like
Unfortunately,
a 60,
I'm not in my normal location, so my
62%
desk is not
mitigation,
up
which
against
means
anything
that this
right
number
now.
you could also read
And it's
as like
one of those
250 attack damage. Like
four-legged
if we want to compare it
desks.
to a Berserker or something like that, basically. So
I'm
super,
here
super
until
crazy
the
damage dealer
weekend's
unit.
over.
And it fits really, really well. You play Cardulox, bond with Toxic Colossus, 35 points left. Can play Lynx on turn 1, super strong, turn 1, wins most of the matchups that you are facing.
Wait, say this again? So...
Berserker or something like that, basically. So super, super crazy damage dealer unit. And it fits really, really well. You play Cardulox, bond with Toxic Colossus, 35 points left. Can play Lynx on turn 1, super strong, turn 1, wins most of the matchups that you are facing.
Yeah, it's because this deck is literally the hard counter to the deck that we've been playing. So I'm just trying to
And then the new thing
learn
on
this
turn
deck.
2, which usually we couldn't do, right? Usually we needed to add a Toxic Illuvium or some source of damage, but this Lynx is enough of a source of damage by itself. So on turn 2, you can swap the shield to a nature shield, you make a Verdant Colossus Ranger, and you can just play on Null. Now you have 25 points left. Usually this just means you equip a suit, and then on turn 3 you can unequip the suit and you can play your double Berserker combo, and you have then you have Toxic Berserker plus a really, really strong Verdant frontline due to the 3 Colossus and including both your Ranger and Null having a Verdant as well. That is kind of the fundamental idea here. That is how you play the early game, and that is why it is so, so strong. Because Lynx, super powerhouse in terms of single target damage dealers, and then Berserkers, super, super strong single target damage dealers as well. And as you guys might know, on the Berserker trait, every third attack they deal extra damage, and they get stacking attack speed for the rest of the fight. So if the Berserkers can just keep auto-attacking, they get stronger throughout the entire fight, which just works really, really well with the super high upfront
This is literally
damage
the
that
deck
Lynx is doing
that
with
someone
pure
shared
damage
with me
auto-attacks and the
like
super strong
a
ability.
week ago
But yeah,
on my
after
stream,
that, you
and I couldn't
basically
figure out how
can
to play
either
it.
on
Like, I
turn
didn't know
4
what to do.
usually go for Apon or Darius, or you can
Although
go for
Lynx wasn't
Titanor,
in it.
Apon, or you can do Titanor and some augment on Mankier. It kind of depends on the setup of the game and the matchup and so on, but yeah, basically you start out the game Cardulox, Lynx plus Toxic, then you go for Null, Colossus, equip a suit, then you go for double Berserker, and on turn 4 you can either do Apon and Darius, Apon Titanor, Titanor and Augments, and then the next turn you always play like whatever was left out of these three, plus like another small augment usually. That's kind of how you approach the games. It is relatively linear, but the positioning is surprisingly difficult, surprisingly intricate. There's a lot of stuff that you can do right, a lot of stuff that you can do wrong in this team, which is kind of the same with most melee damage dealer based teams. Right, if your melee damage dealers, the upside is they are usually super strong damage dealers. They do crazy amounts of
We're
damage.
watching this now because
But
I really
they are
want to learn
very
this.
squishy, and if they get attacked by anything, they usually tend to die. And that is one of the things in recent patches. We've seen Riplan's resistances get nerfed, for example. It's only 41 physical resistance and 1600 HP, which for 75 cost unit is very weak, right? And it's similar on Mankier. Mankier did not nerf that much, right? You can compare Mankier as even tankier than Riplan's, being only a 55 cost unit, but it's still 1600 HP, 50 resistance, and you don't have any bulwarks in your team that give team-wide resistance buffs. So again, very squishy damage dealers, but if they are free to attack, super crazy strong. The only kind of support you have are the Verdant AoE, healing shields obviously, and the AoE stuns by Apon and such. Okay, let's like quickly look at augments and why is there Ramfire in here as well. So in the mirror match versus other Verdant enemies, anti-healing, same as always, super strong in these mystic healing based teams. Then there's a really good combo that you want to go for if you can in one turn. If you can't in one turn, you might not want to consider this. Now what do I mean is if you can go attack speed and a crit chance on the monkey, and at the same time you can play teammates gain crit amp every 5 seconds. Very good scaling comp for like any of these fights, especially because they usually go to overtime. But if you can't play all those 3 augments in one turn, if you can only play 1, you can just go for attack speed on the monkey. If you can play 2, you can also choose a pure attack damage here instead of the crit chance, just for having a really powerful turn at the moment, because the games don't really go very late game, and if you win a fight very decisively, you do like 600 damage and you pretty much one-shot people from whatever HP total they have after the early game. So yeah, like definitely do consider the pure attack damage option here as well, if you can't also play the crit amp augment in the same turn. Yeah, outside of that, if you play versus Ramfire teams or any of these like AoE, magic damage, magma, inferno kind of stuff, certainly go for resolve augment on all your relevant carries, meaning your berserkers and probably your mystic unit as well. Then you want to go for Techno Leecher in a lot of these matchups as well for debuffing, like taking away the enemy energy. Exalted Apon is usually the best unit to carry that because it has a really high starting energy. And then this is really clutch on your turn 5 oftentimes, because it makes your unit untargetable for 2 seconds. Now 2 seconds isn't long, but if you have like a melee damage dealer versus melee damage dealer face off and yours just goes untargetable, the other guy stops attacking, walks to something else, starts attacking a tank, your guy keeps hitting the other guy, you super hardcore win that turn. And if you just play your standard units, you play your Cardulox, Lynx, Null, double Berserker, Titanor, Darius, Apon, you have 60 mastery points left. So those 60 mastery points oftentimes can be Vitality Veil plus attack speed on the monkey as like a super tempo play that turn, trying to close out the game for just really powerful turn 5. Or you can just do like Vitality Veil on the Riplan's or Vitality Veil on the Lynx, for example, if just looking at the current positionings and they are getting attacked by the enemy damage dealer, so the last turn on turn 4, now you can just put that augment and you don't have to reposition the unit, and your unit can probably win a 1v1 versus the enemy very decisively. Now, why is there Ramfire? Well, first of all, Ramfire is surprisingly viable in the mirror if you go to like turn 6. Turn 7 very rarely happens. Turn 6, Ramfire, very good. You can get Inferno chips, you can get Power Ascent on the legendary augments, works very well with that Ramfire.
Bet you
So
a lot
you
of people
can
are gonna be
certainly
running
go
this
for that.
shit.
You can, I don't know, like
now,
sell Cardulox, sell
which
links,
means that
put in Rampfire,
I
replay
want to think ahead
Cardulox.
to the deck
Very
that's gonna beat
viable option in
this.
the mirror. Outside of the mirror, Rampfire very, very good against all the Psion teams, the 7 Psion things and so on. Very, very annoying to deal with if you play melee damage dealers. So yeah, against those teams, you just put in the Rampfire, you give it the capacitor energy, you give it the team-wide energy buff, and then you can check what currently looks good versus the enemy team. Maybe attack speed, maybe Omnivamp, maybe untargetable. Like all of that kind of depends
Well, we're
on
gonna
the
learn
matchup.
that.
I think the go-to
That's what we're gonna
relevant
learn,
thing
so
is the
we're just
upfront
waiting.
energy from this, the upfront energy from this on a
I want to
unit
get some
next
good
to it,
explanation
and then
so I
the
can
third
understand
augment
what
you
I'm
can
doing.
consider. Maybe you can even go for crit chance, which is a bit more damage because of Phantom. The ability can also crit, so that can work really, really well. I would say usually you don't have enough mastery points to play all of those augments anyways. Usually you can only play Charge Capacitor and this the same turn you put the Rampfire in. So don't worry too much about the second augment, because hopefully the game just ends on that turn. You can even consider to go for the 25 Omega power here, just giving the Rampfire ult more damage, but I don't think that is super relevant. Just casting quicker for Inferno is more the big deal. And this really, really matters because the Psion matchups are very, very bad if you don't play this Rampfire. So yeah, Charge Capacitor, Synergetic Field, top priority, and then the second augment, if your Rampfire like drops low but survives, you can even give it this for example healing.
Say that again.
Capacitor, Synergetic Field, top priority, and then the second augment, if your Rampfire like drops low but survives, you can even give it this for example healing 800 health at 40%. I think that is a very, very valid option. If your Rampfire just keeps dying, then yeah, just give it heal 800. Heal 800 is really, really good. So let's talk a little bit about gameplay. I first want to give you guys a little bit about the mirror match, because I do believe this is pretty much the strongest team at the moment and you'll see it a lot. So let's talk a bit about the mirror. Now you can see it's pretty much like the same list. There's like a small difference in the suit and like a small difference in min-maxing mastery points for the earlier stages with like different shields and such. But yeah, it's pretty much a mirror. Also like a Gorilla, maybe like a Predator emblem and other options. Gorilla maybe good versus Psion and such. Different sort of tech cards, but yeah, for our purpose of the mirror, it's the same. Now, legendary augments, well, here, this is a pretty interesting betting phase, because two really, really strong ones, and then two really, really strong ones here as well. Now, Retribution's Call, if you can manage to have the enemy monkey hit your Titanor, for example, this augment can literally just kill the enemy monkey. Like, they eventually die to the fawns. Super, super good. But if the enemy has like full on 3-4 units attacking your fawns unit might die too quickly. So it can be a bit tricky to use, and it's either gonna be super insane or it's gonna be yeah, just a bit underwhelming if the initial Mystic Shields and the Dorius heals and such can counter it. Impact Dampener, one of the strongest augments in the entire game in this matchup, because 35% damage reduction. There's just so much damage reduction, plus a Verdant, plus Mystic Shield, plus a Dorios healings, plus everything, that your units barely take any damage anymore. So if Impact Dampener is on the side of the Berserkers, you're very likely to just win the fight, because you just stat check the opponent. You just do more damage, you tank more than they do. Verdant is kind of the same idea, but it's a lot less effective than Impact Dampener. And yeah, Berserker Imprint on the links, super, super crazy damage dealer. So these are very interesting legendary augments. In general, one of the main things about this matchup is just knowing the legendary augments better than your opponent, for example. So here we can see Berserker Imprint 1-1, Verdant 1-1, and then I value Impact Dampener higher than my opponent, valuing Fawns higher, essentially. Okay, turn 1. Turn 1 is pretty much always your Cardulox, like in slightly this middle spot. You can lean a little bit to the side of the links, you can lean a little bit away from the side of the links. It depends a bit on the matchups, but usually like in this middle spot you want your Cardulox to be and your links in the further bottom, and you want your Ranger positioned like slightly in front of the links, so that the Ranger is making the links walk in as late as possible, because you want the enemy damage dealer to arrive at the front line, attack your tank, and your damage dealer to arrive late, so they attack the enemy damage dealer that is now next to the enemy tank. Well, you can see this here. The Colossus taunt sadly made the enemy taunted my links into here, and the enemy links was not taunted into that, so my links just got focused by the enemy links, and we are losing this turn 1. But yeah, that is basically the turn 1. It's pretty similar to the Jotun RNG thing, where just depending on what the links attack and who kills something first, you win or lose. If you both do the same thing, right? You can see we both pretty much did the same thing. He's blocking the links slightly more on this side. I'm blocking the links slightly more if I'm walking to this side, so it's like a bit 50-50-ish on which side you play. But yeah, something like your Ranger in front of the links and then the Colossus taunt RNG is usually going to be the rest, so don't worry too hard about this turn. Then on turn 2, you basically have, I would say, 2 major options. You can go for your Null like here and leave enough space for Monkey to walk past. You can leave enough space for only links to walk through. Or you can just move your Null further to this side and have more space for all of the Berserkers. There are upsides and downsides to all of that. The upside, if there's very, very little space here, if in the future the Monkey is in front of the links and the Monkey can walk in here, like this is the setup that my opponent has now. My opponent has enough space for the links to walk in, into me here, and I have enough space for the Monkey to walk in. So that is really, that's like blind positioning, kind of unlucky, bad for me. But that is something to be aware of, because my Monkey can walk in, and then the Lynx walks in, and the Lynx kills my Monkey, while the Monkey can attack the Null here, for example. That's this. We can skip forward. That's how this setup, the setup is like awkward. It's very awkward for me, because the idea is you have your Monkey here, a Monkey is around a bunch of nature units, Earth Monkey gets hyper, and it's pretty safe because there's a big Null in front of the Monkey before that. You can see here. Now the thing here is, this Null, it did not leave, there's 1 hex too little space probably. And or, that is a difficult thing to see sometimes. That's why we want to watch replays as well, right? It's kind of hard to tell, can the links fit here or can the links not fit here? Or is the links, because my Null is so far to the left, that this path is faster than this path. It's also about the Ranger blocking and not blocking the links. So here, for example, I think if the enemy Monkey would be in front of this links here, the links would not be walking this path, the links would be stuck for a second, and then it probably would walk this path because the other Berserkers are blocking this path, and then this links would arrive after my Monkey arrives, and it would kill my Monkey here. So I think that this is, like, it's not optimal to do this, basically. But on the other end, this is like the awkward thing about this mirror, where my opponent could also see, well, if I do this and he puts the Monkey there, then his Monkey dies. So I should do this other play, right? So it's kind of this mental, like, thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of your opponent and doing like a right or a wrong thing just based on the blind positioning thing, right? But that is the thing that is considered here, right? If this Lynx is blocked, it can sneak in here while the Monkey is attacking now, the Lynx is killing the Monkey. So I could get punished by that if my opponent is playing this side, but my opponent is not playing this side, because then if I would play this side, right, and so on and so on. So yeah, you guys can see Lynx is attacking Null, Monkey is attacking Null here. My Ranger is tanking the Berserkers. Usually you want all your 3 units to attack like the same unit preferably, or the same side, so they just focus fire things quicker. That's preferably what you want to happen. Like now I got to finish off one of the enemy damage dealers. My Monkey is still a little bit stuck on the Null, and I will lose one of my damage dealers, but Riplans can trade 1 for 1. So yeah, it's just looking good, right? Pretty much, if you check this out, right, I have, I just do more damage on this side, right? I have all my units focused like the same units if units die, and so on.
Oh, grats, Captain. I'm glad you got that.
Now, stuff that you can do here is, I could have put my Mystic Monkey here. That means my Berserkers are blocked and they walk over here. Now, you want to do this block off, wall off thing.
How long till it gets there?
The entire site can be walled off. You wanna stay true to the theme of you want all your 3 guys to attack the same enemy unit. So if my Null would be further to this side and I could entirely block off here with the Monkey, then this would be fine. After playing the matchup more, and I sadly don't have a footage of that, so that's why I want to just explain here. Playing Titanor turn 4 in this matchup is usually better. Titanor just seems to outperform. It's a massive stun. It's a very, very tanky unit. So Mystic is not necessarily the turn 4 play always. You can just go for Titanor as well. There are upsides and downsides to this because of, well, when do you commit your Titanor positioning, when do you commit your Mystic units positioning and such, when do you commit your Mystic Monkey positioning and so on. So yeah, but in general, Titanor is higher power level on turn 4, and that is why I have personally started to usually do like Cardulox here, Null here, Titanor here, if I'm same side, and the same side with the enemy. So that then my guys just walk in and kill the enemy berserkers, like all 3 together after they're fully walled off. And if your opponent is on the opposing side, then you can just leave this side free.
3 days minimum.
So basically what I'm saying is, if the Lynx is in this corner, turn 1 Cardulox is here, you see Lynx is in this corner, you just go Null here, you go Null here, you go Titanor later here. Just have all your tanks in front of their damage dealers. If the enemy is on the same side, then you play Null Titanor here, wall off the Cardulox side, so your damage dealers will walk over to the left, and they all attack either the same tank on this side, or they can attack the enemy damage dealers immediately if they're also walled off.
That was nice.
Basically, you want to have a wall of tanks in front of the enemy damage dealers.
Thanks for letting me know,
and you don't want there to be enough space for any of your damage dealers to sneak through. You want them to stick
depends on what you need, Icon.
A three-guy unit of Doom with his insane single target damage. And then the thing about the Mystic Monkey positioning that you genuinely want to keep in mind is that it is a mud unit. It slows the attack speed of enemy units that it is attacking. So you want to position it not in front of...
You get an endless queue? Okay. You've tried restarting the game? You've tried quitting it and logging out, logging back in? Okay. First question is going to be, what part of the world do you live in? Seems kind of ridiculous. I don't think it has anything to do with reinstall. I think it has something that... You live in Brazil. Okay. So what you're probably experiencing is one of 2 things. Number 1, your router may be blocking your firewall might be blocking some of the ports needed to be opened in order for you to connect to the servers, because Brazil is a little bit tricky. It depends on your provider. Do you both have your friends have the same internet provider as you do? I actually don't know how that works in Brazil. Like, I don't know if there's multiple providers or if it's like, Brazil having... You don't know? My first thought is ports. Because the thing is like the game itself, reinstalling the game wouldn't necessarily do a change with that. I mean, I would still try it. I would still try it. But if you are still having problems after you try reinstalling it, then my first thought would be that your ports need to be opened, or your firewall that you have on your router is blocking the connection. Yeah, I'm gonna take a guess that it's probably your firewall. That would be my first assumption. I don't know the port numbers that you would need to be opened to connect to that, but my recommendation is, if you are not already in the Illuvium Discord community, that you join the Illuvium Discord community, because there's a support team that are in there who might actually know those port numbers. I don't personally deal with that problem, so I don't know of them off the top of my head, but I would recommend you go to them to get those things, because that's what it sounds like it's a problem of, to me anyway.
Of a tank, you want to position it with usually nothing in front, so that it detects something, it casts the ability, and after Illuvians cast the ability, they refocus to the closest enemy that...
Yeah, of course. And if you still are not getting through and you still don't figure out, or you don't know where to go, feel free to, you know, let me know. I will try my best to help you out. I want to make sure that everyone gets a good experience in Illuvium. I'm a big fan of this game, so I want to make sure that you get your chance to play it. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We're here to help each other, get the chance to get the game on, get some fun going. That's what I want you guys to get. So right now we're just watching. I think it's probably your firewall. That's my first guess, Icon. Whenever you have a problem connecting to games in general, um, it tends to be firewall problems more than anything.
That they can attack. So if there's nothing in front at the beginning of the fight, sure, it attacks the tank to the left or to the right or something like that, but then it casts the ability, and by then usually a berserker is in front of the monkey, and the monkey can start attack speed slowing that berserker. So yeah, here you guys can see that my positioning, I didn't do any like of these wall of things, but I have my monkey over here that is just surrounded by nature units, so the monkey is getting hyper, and the monkey is not getting stunned or attack speed
You
slowed
probably
by
need
the
to
enemy
allow
mud
it,
unit,
yeah.
which is usually good. And now we have a hyper monkey, which
First
is
try it on your
fighter
PC,
hyper,
and if it's
super,
not your
super crazy
PC,
damage
then it
dealer.
might be your
I still have
router.
a full HP Null with a Verdant proc protecting it, and they all attack the Null, while the monkey can now just start to clean up. So that is kind of the other option that you have when you don't want to have all your damage dealers at the same side. You're playing for the hyper on the monkey, and then you're playing to like win essentially later on in the fight after it was scaled on the berserker and the hyper damage buff. It is kind of working on turn 4, turn 3, 4 especially. If you play for this hyper option, later on there is just too much damage, and the hyper just kicks in a bit too late, while the rest of your team has a really, really hard time surviving. Now here, Titanal Impact Dampener, Titanal in front of the enemy berserkers, super, super insane. There's not much more to say here. Also, I kind of just had the winning positioning from these other blind setups with Blind Monkey and so on and so on. So there's not much to do besides just play Titanal, play Legendary Augments. They're really, really strong. Titanal in front of
That's
the
giving
enemy.
you problems again, Drake.
Now, the cute thing that you can see here is because I have 5 points left from the Saccharine, and my Lynx would eventually just walk over here or something like Lynx doesn't really get much done being here. But here, this is the cheesy kind of thing that I explained earlier, where this Lynx can now just walk by here. The enemies are attacking my Titanal. The Lynx will maybe be able to snipe down a Berserker. Now we see my opponent reposition the Ranger, reposition the Lynx, so my cheesy play with my Lynx is not working. The Lynx will just attack the enemy Ranger. Never mind, the Lynx managed to find its way to the other side and is attacking one of the Berserkers. I'm honestly not really sure why the Lynx couldn't fit here, but I guess Titan was just too big a unit. But yeah, it's the same theme, right? The enemy Berserkers arrived at the front line a bit quicker than my Lynx, and my Lynx can just attack and chip away the enemy damage dealer here. Lynx is just doing crazy, crazy damage. At the same time, on this side, we just have like Monkey Riplands getting hyper, being a water Riplands, and there's the enemy Mystic Monkey, Earth, all the Earth units are on this side, all the nature units are on this side, so Riplands can get hyper. There's also something to look out for in this matchup especially. You want your Earth Monkey to be just, well, close to all the nature units and preferably away from the enemy Riplands. If it is a water Riplands, then the monkey can get hyper, and the Riplands away from the nature units close to all of the earth units, and the Riplands can get hyper. Fighter hyper, completely insane. Now this turn I'm essentially on winning positioning. I think it's really, really hard to adjust the positioning for my opponent to do much about me here. It's very, very hard to snipe all these units behind the Colossuses and so on. In general, both in the Jotun and in this team, especially in the mirrors, positioning and side swapping is on one hand really, really powerful, but on the other hand, it is a bit more difficult to do than it initially seems. It's not just do you put your units left or right, you have to perfectly adjust the frontline units as well, so that the enemy units attack frontline and your units attack the enemy units, and oftentimes it is pretty hard to do, right? Even here, talking about this last turn, I was expecting my Lynx to walk here, but this path, Lynx to Null here, is a bit longer than Lynx to Null here. So my Lynx decided to walk this path, and even though the enemy had units coming in here, my Lynx was already too far to this side to redirect to this side, right? And that is very, very hard to predict sometimes. Now my opponent also sideswapped this now, so it's pretty hard for me to predict this. I could have not had my ranger cover so far on this left. I could have had my ranger a bit further here.
Oh,
Then
nice.
my
I'm
links
glad it
might
worked,
have
Captain.
this path shorter than this path with a like a wider angle or whatever
Let's
you want
go.
to say this. If
Can't
my
wait to see the
ranger is
quality.
over here. for
Stay
example.
permanent
So
on
there's
your
a
stream.
lot really, really small
I'm
figure
jealous.
manipulation of moving paths that you can do. And it's sometimes very, very hard to predict that. And also your opponent might just move a tank or might just move the ranger a little bit. And then your entire side swap that was very costly could be just beaten by the ranger being slightly different and changing the pathing or taunting units out of the way and so on and so on.
There's a much...
Now having my monkey with no lifesteal augment attack this retribution's title
Hopefully soon,
that
Captain.
is a bit
Hopefully
risky, but
soon.
again I'm like thinking, okay, my opponent probably wants to swap away from this impact dampener. Impact dampener is very, very strong. So if they don't swap away from this, I'm happy. If they
I'm glad I
swap
got
away
you
from
into an
this,
NFT
then
tonight,
I'm not
though.
actually hitting
I wasn't
Retribution's
expecting
title
that.
now, because if I do, then my
Basically,
monkey
what
is
happened was... I don't know if you've joined that Discord, but basically what happened was... I went into the community last night. One of those last night in the Discord spaces because I asked a really good question at the founder, the guy Jax that liked your post. He's like one of the founders or the founder of the project. He liked my question that I threw at him, so he gave me my second one. And then I went into the community today and I was like, yeah, I actually have a few friends that I want to get in on this project with me. And I was thinking I'm probably going to buy a couple of them, maybe like 3 or 4, so I can like get more people into the project so they can be holders. And I was legitimately going to do that. Like I was thinking, oh, I'm going to give Captain one. I was going to give this other guy, the animator who did my animations, one, because I wanted him in there too, because he's been a cool dude to have. And I was going to like just airdrop you the stuff anyway. And then that guy was like, who are these people? He's like, I was going to do some giveaways to get more holders into the community, but I would rather have people who are legitimately like going to hold on to the project get access to it. And I was like, I think I can manage to keep these guys holding their commies. And yeah, I was really excited to get that for you. And I'm glad you got one that you actually kind of liked too. So that's basically the story. And I'm just networking. Like, I get that I tweet all the time. That's probably really fucking annoying to you. But at the same token, I'm also getting a lot of like positive feedback from like community leaders in general about how much I'm like repping the brands and popping out there and stuff. So it's kind of like it's a balance. I get it's a balance between both, because I obviously don't want my account to just become like only NFTs. I want people to know that I'm also a streamer and I'm also making content and creating, and I'm going to have my own NFT projects that I'm going to be launching. I actually just sketched my idea finally, my first idea that I'm feeling really confident in, that I think could actually really be something. So it's a fun project though. The Kami one is definitely a fun project, and it's definitely my top 5 favorite NFT projects that I have right now. F Lizards being number 1. And then I would say after that would be probably Saved Souls, which I do tweet about quite often. Meat Nippy, Beanbag Friends, and Kami are my top 5 right now. And the other 2 are only ahead of Kami just strictly because they have deeper ties to real world utility right now. So I'm expecting those to really pop off. I'm hoping anyway. I'm glad you're in though. I'm actually really genuinely glad you're in on the project, and I hope I don't know, I hope it can lead to more like fun NFTs that you and I can chase after. I'd be dope. I want to go back to when we were chasing after NFT projects that were fun to flip.
like safe, and it's just cleaving into the enemy team. Now my enemy moved a bit away. My monkey is cleaving into the enemy Mystic Monkey. That is like acceptable for me, but
I shouldn't just say flip either. Flip and collect, because there's some that I'm going to keep no matter what. If the community is good, I'm going to hold on to it, because what I've learned over time is that sometimes the value of holding on to the primary asset is way higher than the flip potential that you get for the money, because you get access to a whole bunch of other things. Like that Corky's was great at the time to get that 1F, but honestly, I missed out on a shit ton of opportunities that would have made me way more than that 1F that I made off that. At the moment, it was great, but overall, it definitely did cost me access to other things that I would have been less likely to hold, but more likely to have made a serious profit on.
Legendary, double legendary augment Titan on my monkey probably won't be able to kill that. And on the other side, the enemy monkey is totally walled off here, so it got redirected to the Titano again, and it probably won't be able to kill this because Impact Dampener is just that strong. Yeah, and on the other side, my Riplins was blocked by the monkey and just arrived later at the front line than the enemy Berserkers. We can rewind this. Riplins just arrived later than the Lynx and the enemy Riplins, so I'm targeting the Lynx while the enemies are targeting Colossus. And yeah, it's kind of an easy win. Now, a really, really important thing about Titano in this mirror match as well is Titano targets the furthest enemy. You want your Adorius positioned in a way where it can tank the Titano ability so it doesn't jump through the entire front line. And you also want your Titano to be pretty much as far left or as far right as possible so that it is harder to make Adorius the furthest unit. Now here, last turn, I probably very realistically could and should have considered to swapping my Adorius over to this side so that this Titano would blast to this corner and not through my entire team. But that would make my Adorius not block the Riplins positioning a bit worse, and my Riplins then would maybe arrive too early at the front line and lose. So there's a lot of this like small intricate stuff that is oftentimes really, really difficult, and I hope this gave you a better understanding of this overall. Now, I don't want to bore you with a like full gameplay review on this, but this is a matchup that people ask me how to play against a lot. I think this is one of the easiest to play teams in the game, right? You just do the same clumping play every single game. It's very, 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 very easy team to play. Let's say it like that, right? So let's like skip through and point out the very, very important things here, right? So now you just do Cardulox links like usual. You do Cardulox as much in the middle as possible. Your opponents are supposed to skip turn 1 because they want to position their damage dealers on the same side as you. Now it's not always easy to tell it if you know your opponents 100% do that. You don't play the links, you equip a suit and something, but okay. Our opponent essentially randomly 50-50 the correct side to place their bulwarks on. Now what do? We place a Null in front of the bulwarks, place a Ranger in front, just protect our links, and our links is very much protected, has verdant things healing it. So yeah, we win this round. One thing to note if you're playing this Magma team, play the Singe line on turn 2. This triple bulwark turn 1, it's not really worth it, you're not really winning enough of it. Just play the normal setup of a Singe with Magma, Enchanter and Monkey and one small bulwark on turn 2, then you don't lose to something like this Lynx. I'm not supposed to win this turn, Magma is supposed to eventually, Magma and Singe AoE are supposed to eventually kill the Lynx. 3 bulwark setup, not very good. But nonetheless, it's just for turn 2 and it doesn't change positioning sake. Now Berserkers, you want to be opposing side as this team. And we can see in a second here. So the fight starts, my opponent, you see here, blocks the units as good as possible. And that means that they arrive on this outer corner, they are fighting my Berserkers are fighting their units. And well, that was bad for me. My opponent just had more units to block the pathing of my units better, basically. So you don't want that to happen. What could we have done differently last turn? We could have blocked my units with my Ranger more. So this is like this cheesy blocking units play. It works for like a turn, for sure. But then I can adjust my Ranger for free. And so yeah, you guys can see now I can adjust my Ranger. And we do this blocking pathing, arriving at the front line late theme like we always do. You see my Monkey now couldn't move here, was like, oh, I'll move over here. And then, oh, eventually walks over here. And you guys can see Monkey is on the Kuka. Very, very good for me. Now, it's still gonna take a lot of time because there's like Earth and shields and a bunch of annoying stuff, right? But eventually, Monkey can maybe kill enemy units. Also, a super important thing in this matchup, you don't play a Dorius, you play Gazer. It's way better for hyper reasons, because they have these earth and fire units, and their ranger is fire and so on, so you don't want to add the nature Dorius here. Also, Geyser healing the entire team is very valuable. Oh yeah, you guys can see, you can like skip forward, Geyser healing strong enough, and we just won that
the
fight.
link anyway? I completely missed that.
And then next turn, it's funky. Like they eventually % damage reduction. Pretty much always Yoka Dulox, like in slight value impact dampener. Okay, turn
okay,
one.
you're always linking your Fedorax. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, well, we're gonna give this deck a try. We're gonna give it a try now that I know how to play it. Sort of. I do mean that completely, sort of. I honestly watched it, but even still, like, it's a very complex game that we're playing. Like, we're playing a really complex game. So, this is what we're playing. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Thinking I was gonna try to turn on another light, but honestly, we got such a little amount of time left streaming anyway. There's freaking no point. Tonight was a long work night, and I'm very excited that I have a 3-day weekend, so I will not be back at work until Tuesday, which is great. And I might not even be back on Tuesday. I might actually take Tuesday off and come back only on Wednesday. I got sick time, and I might honestly take the sick time and just use it, because I freaking need it. I need some time off for myself. Oh, it's gonna take me over a minute to log and get one account, huh? Okay, we'll see how long it takes. If I don't get one right now, then could take a. We could just restart research again, and then it'll probably come in. Hopefully. I was definitely searching before. Did it just restart back to, like, 0? I'm very confused. I'm very confused at what just happened. So why is my browser... Why is this bar never, ever hiding? It literally never hides. I don't know why Windows keeps turning off automatically hide the taskbar. It literally is always turning it off. Huh. Glitch. I think that's probably the right one. That was a close one. That was freaking close. I'm gonna take a guess here that we want Ramfire out much earlier on. What the fuck is going on with my Discord? I gotta fix that. We're gonna just... Why not? What is going on with my Discord though? Got some things to turn off. Oh. Who the fuck is pinging like that? Seven Scion, man. Dude, our first match against anything is a fucking 7 Scion. Are you fucking kidding me right now? That's insane. That's really insane. I don't even know what to say to that. I really need to learn this deck, man. We would face a deck that I literally struggle with regardless. Well, we probably lost this, so. I understand the other deck, and that other deck would have destroyed the deck that I'm facing right now. This is a deck that I'm gonna have to spend some time learning. What is good about this though is it's giving me some insight into playing other things, so. Lost. I don't know this deck well enough, so that's what it is. Could have won with the other deck though. I could have definitely beat that other deck. But we do need to learn this shit, so. Interesting. I should have just done double.
Shall not be defeated.
Sorry about that, guys. Holy crap. I gotta figure this out because this is not gonna be an okay setup for me over the weekend. Gonna have to get this up against the wall or something. Very tanky right now.
Back to nothing.
This turn, then I'm not sure what to do next. I don't know. I don't know what's supposed to do. What do you miss? Nothing. I'm trying to learn this, how to play this deck. Because I'm not playing against mirrors as much as I thought I would be, Captain. Like, I just ran up against a 7 Scion deck that literally obliterated me. But I also don't, like, he didn't cover how to beat 7 Scion. I mean, he did, but not in a visual way, so it's a little bit trickier for me to understand what I'm supposed to be doing. This wasn't even a close round. So I at least played it well enough for this. I at least won that. I at least played it well enough to win that one. That's good. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that. Truly. I didn't see who was playing. I was busy. Can you send me a screenshot of the deck list when you get a chance? You want the screenshot? Or you want me to just send you the link that you just literally copy it straight to your deck list? Because I can just send you that. Yeah, I'm saying, do you want me to just... Oh, he's using the same deck as me? Okay, well then it's just going to be who plays it better. Which means it's going to be probably him. Because this is like literally my third time playing it, so... Alright, I'll send you the link after this round. Getting a lot of attention on Twitter today. A lot of people liking the fact that you got some fun with the commies. All the commies warm welcome to you. Looks like I played the first round much better than he did. That's good.
I shall not be defeated.
Oh, his position is really bad. Honestly. I'm gonna play that. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly think the commies will be a good one. I really do. I'm not just saying that because I got two of them. I'm saying it because both them and there's like two communities that have actively been raiding for me. It's the commies and the saved souls. Like both of them are very active. Saved souls is another one I'm thinking about giving you a saved soul because I have 4 of them and just having you hold it so you can use the saved soul stuff. I'm very tempted to do that for you. Like very, very tempted. Are they expensive? 0.05 right now, I think, or 0.04 something like that. Free? I didn't mint it free though. I've dollar cost average bought in multiple times over many months. My first one though I got was basically free. I mean, I got it off the floor when gas was like nothing. And it was like during the bear market, so like I was actually really able to afford it. But I'm thinking about getting you one of mine because oh, I actually should have taken the verdant. Because there's this thing that's going on right now that it's like if you're active on their web browser gaming experience that they have built, you can win big prizes. Like, I mean, big prizes. So I'm very tempted. I'm trying to drag you along with me, dude. I'm trying to get you back into this shit. Okay, that's good. We got 2 wins back to back so far. You're very out of the NFC meta. Well, you have to start somewhere. And the thing I was thinking is that if you can continually actively participate in 2 communities and build something in those, because I'm building my own reputation going on in different communities, but between both of us, maybe we'd be able to you know, find some good stuff to chase. It is, but we both want to make money, don't we? We both want to make some serious money. Saying we could do it. Also, I'm very excited. I got paid out twice by Illuvium so far. It's very exciting, actually. My wife is very excited about that. So much so, she's like, when are you quitting your job so you can start living life? Oh shit, I fucked that up. I forgot the link and I forgot to put the weapon on. When I say active, I don't mean tweeting or fucking messaging all the time. That's something I wouldn't expect of you. That's like something only me. I've really fucked this one up. And I would have easily won it too. I really fucked it up. It's okay though, because what happened is that he actually thinks I'm an idiot. Because I am. I forgot the link, so yeah. Now he's gonna play as though I'm an idiot, which is maybe to my advantage. Big-headed Lynx before he kills my big queen. We're good.
Back to nothing.
Pretty solid.
Bada bing, bada bye.
Alright, it's going alright. It's gotta be final bounding. What? Okay. I'm missing something. I think I'm doing alright with this deck. I meant to send you this deck, by the way, after, so I will send it.
get a shot of this complaint?
I didn't call the police.
I did. She hit me with a belt.
Is that true, man?
I found out from Daniel's teacher. He's been cutting class. When I asked him about it, he lied. So I hid it.
Come here, kid. How long ago did this happen?
A few hours ago.
How many times she hit you?
3. Left me right on the butt.
She hit you anywhere else?
No.
She hit you with her fist or another object?
No. Just the belt.
Has that happened before?
No.
All right, I'm gonna take that belt and put it as evidence.
I shall not be defeated.
Am I going to jail?
You called the police on your mom because she disciplined you for ditching school.
That's child abuse. I've got rights.
Who told you that?
My friends.
Hit him again.
Oh, I need to watch that show. Just based on that one clip, I want to watch that show. Let's see what we got for tweets going on right now. Okay. Oh, what the hell? That's open? This has been open the whole time? Didn't even know it was in the background. Hey, we beat the other guy. We beat him. What time is it? Alright, last one. I'm gonna go one last one, and then I'm going to bed. Because I have to get up tomorrow. I'm going to Florence, so I'm gonna take a lot of videos once. Hopefully this time I actually have videos to share with you guys about traveling through Florence. Hopefully I make it through the full day of walking and everything. Feel alright. Today was kind of a rough day for me, so I'm hoping tomorrow I'll feel alright to do it. This is interesting, but I really think it's like this. I think this, because you put Visionary's Vanguard on the Berserker, and he's gonna be a monster. Why am I going to Florence? Just to visit. It's right here. It's literally like an hour away from where we are, so we're gonna go and explore. No, we're just going to visit. Just going to see it. This thing is actually burning through my stuff a little bit faster than his, so GG to that. That stinks. That happens. What the fuck? He barely beat me, man. Ah, barely beating me each round. Monkey attacking his monkey right now? That's dope. Wasn't expecting to win that one. Wasn't expecting to win that round at all. Honestly, he's gonna go for Lifestorm here, but I think Titan's Redoubt just wins. I don't know if you saw, I sent you the deck list. I hope you saw that. Yeah, no worries. I'm about to be done. Like, I'm literally done after this round. I'm gonna cut out for the night. It's honestly great for me because my monkey is gonna get so much beefier. What the? Damn. He's got double the extra verdant. It's really annoying. That was an annoying run. Everything is coming so close there. What's 3 Berserker give? We do want to get... Actually, you know what? We want the stuns behind him. Like behind these two. Yeah. I didn't get all the augments out. Whew. Got the win. Let's go.
Is complete.
All right. That's a good one to end on. We got another win. That's a good one to end the stream on. That's it for me for the stream for the night, though. I am literally going off, like I said before. I plan on streaming tomorrow night. We're planning on returning tomorrow night, so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna be streaming. I'm gonna get some video for you guys. I'm gonna try to get some video in Florence so you guys can get a chance of actually exploring Florence through my eyes. Hopefully I get enough of it shot so you guys can actually get some, you know, some good stuff to see. And hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna probably play more Illuvium tomorrow. And I don't know, maybe something else. Maybe we'll see. But till tomorrow, guys. Good luck with whatever games you guys are playing. Hope you guys have some epic time, epic fun, epic adventures, even if it's in your dreams. And hopefully I'll catch you guys for tomorrow's stream. Till then, CBTV, temporarily signing off. Peace and good night, everybody.